Michael Jordan is, for those of you who don't know, the most intimidating, impressive man you'll ever see in real life. And then he talked about his mother. And it's the only time I ever saw this look come across his face. Not that I've seen him all that much, but watched him on TV a bunch. It was a look of reverence and awe and love and gratitude and innocence. And he just said, none of this would have ever happened without my mother did everything. And I said, really? And he said, oh yeah. And I said, wow, okay. And I said, I think I got you a couple of lines in the movie. I got to figure. And I said, who would you like to play your mom? And he said, well, it has to be Viola Davis. I said, you know, that's like saying, can I play basketball? You're out on your court. You said, yeah, if you get Michael Jordan. Viola Davis is the best actor I've ever seen. And I want to welcome the best actor in the world, Viola Davis. All the mistakes in the movie are mine. This cast gifted me something that I never could have dreamed of. And I thought about, well, how do you tell this story about Michael Jordan and never see him? Because when you are that person, when you mean that much, when you become something more than a hero or an athlete or even an icon, you start to become an idea to people, where you touch them and you just represent hope and excellence and greatness. You are also one of a kind. And there was no way that I was ever gonna ask an audience to believe that anyone other than Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan. As much out of my own naked self-interest, frankly, because I knew it would destroy the movie, as out of a genuine respect. You will see him in the movie, but you will see Michael Jordan as he truly is in his authentic, masterful genius, which exists for all of us to see. And I just want you to know that, because that's a deliberate choice. I thought he was too majestic to have anyone impersonate, and as I told him, you're too old to play the part, and I can't afford you.
Do you have any personal experience with agents like this?
Trying to get him fired by his agent.
They're here right now, but my agents are very nice
I want
people.
that.
It was all in the page. The writing was great, and it just told you what to do. It was a bold play. You know, we got to do those phone calls, which I've never done before, thanks to Ben, at the same time. So Matt and I were down the hall from each other. I think we had 3 cameras on us.
On each of us.
Yeah. And Ben would kind of go back and forth, and so we were able to play. Normally you do it with the script supervisor, or we try to call each other, but it keeps cutting off. But to do it together was a blast.
What was it like to play your character, and did you know any of this backstory, or was it part of your research for the role?
You know, I don't do a lot of research. I just, quite frankly, I didn't really need to know anything more than just the cool group that I was being invited to join. And I'm really, this is the only second time I've seen it, and I saw it before, just me and my wife Amanda, and to see it with you guys, and to feel the excitement of like what, really knocked out at what Ben and Matt were able to do with this story, which, it's a story, it's an American business story, and they made like a rock show out of that, and we're somehow able to enhance what Michael Jordan means to all of us, which was already the zenith of greatness and excitement, and I'll never think of Michael Jordan or Air Jordans the same way again because of what Ben was able to do with that film and create that kind of feeling that we all just had. I mean, I couldn't believe the amount of screaming and the yelling and the applauding. Just amazing. So I loved having that experience with you.
It was a blessing. It was a blessing. Ben and Matt, man, those guys, the greatest, brilliant geniuses, and they made me feel so comfortable. They came in my trailer and sat down like, look, man, it's just some friends making a movie. Let's just have some fun. You do whatever you want to do. Ben called me and said, do whatever you want to do, man. I said, what? He said, we do it. So it was just great. And then they started telling me who was all in the movie. Viola, Julius, everybody, Chris, and Jason. And I was like, cool. And it was everything I love. And Howard White is a good friend of mine. He helped me out so much. And he just really schooled me. So it was a blessing to be in the movie. It was a blessing.
What I think the miracle of this movie is that we obviously all know how the story ends. But in the last scenes, I'm like, well, what's gonna happen? Tell me how you got that much tension, even though we already know the story.
I'll tell you the truth. Chris has given away my entire directing strategy, which is you find brilliant people and say, just do what you want. And I'm not kidding. And I feel like I just got to bear witness to all these people's performance and the energy and their own authorship that they brought to the story, and listening to them all talk, and Viola, Chris, all of you realize that I feel like in this movie, I love this movie. And I really just feel like I watched it happen. And I am lucky enough to be part of telling a story of somebody, not only about this business story, something that can inspire people, but that's something that has a resonance about value and worth that extends far beyond my capacity for authorship, and into deeper parts of this country and what it means and how we regard ourselves and one another. And it really is just it's like coaching the dream team. When how hard was that? You're just like, let's go ahead and take some shots, play some defense. Sounds good. And I blew them out. It was a joy and an honor, and I'm so glad I got to see it in front of an audience to see what I saw every day, which is how fabulous you all are. I love you. I'm grateful to you. Thank you very much. All the good things in this movie are what they came up with. And, the most powerful to me, as I was telling the cast earlier, was there's a moment, the phone call with Matt, the second call with Mrs. Jordan, Sonny, and where Viola took the phone away from her ear in the middle of the scene. And it startled me and struck me, and it actually imparted on me, I felt, like a whole range of insight into a lifetime of being told the rational reason why you had to accept this is how it's going to be, and the genius, the mastery of that, of the elegance in the performance to get all of that across and break my heart. I'm sitting there watching the monitor by just taking the phone away from your face. I never seen anything like it. It was like I have nothing to say.
Well, also, but just to double up on that for a second, also because you've been following the protagonist, right, for the whole movie, and in that moment, basically somebody's telling the protagonist, you're wrong, which is a very weird thing to do in a movie. But it makes total sense. The way she does it, she's just like, I'm not gonna listen to this again. Like
it would be counterintuitive for an audience. And any without that performance, the audience just goes, wait a minute. We've gone all this way with you, rooting for this person. Now you want to stop us and say, but because of that elegance and eloquence and pure truth of it, I feel as though the audience go, oh, yeah, she's right. And so when you go up with Matt, it doesn't feel like a defeat. Or he's resentful. He's just kind of like, we all missed it, and it makes the change organic in film.
Congratulations, y'all.